A wise Stoic called Seneca said, "Be with people who will make you a better man. Welcome people who can make you a better man. People learn while they teach." Today, we are going to look at the souls that Stoicism loves so much. We learn how to live by Stoic principles by looking at how these people deal with life. They give us ideas and direction. Come with us on this trip of respect as we learn more about the strong and wise people who really show what it means to be Stoic. Type 1. People who think deeply about what they say. People who think deeply about things have a special place in Stoicism. Why? Stoicism isn't just reading or talking about philosophy. It's about taking its lessons to heart and following them in everyday life. This is exactly what thoughtful thinkers do. They regularly question, analyze, and dig deep into their actions and thoughts. Picture the huge ocean. The waves and winds may make it look rough on the outside, but deep down, it's quiet and peaceful. Also, the thoughtful thinker may have a chaotic world around them, but they have a calm inside that helps them get through life's storms. They don't just respond to things that happen. Instead, they think about them, figure out how they feel, and decide what the best thing to do is. You may be wondering how someone can learn to think deeply about things. Well, it starts with making it a habit to think about yourself. For example, keeping a journal was something that many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, did every day. They could understand their views, make sense of the world, and get clear by writing down their thoughts. Still, it's not just about thinking about yourself. The thoughtful mind also wants to learn new things. They are always learning, changing, and getting bigger. They don't take material at face value. Instead, they dig deeper, break it down, and look at it from different points of view. They are critical without being negative and analytical without being too quick to judge. These people are beautiful because they make those around them want to be better. Having them around feels like a breath of fresh air. They remind us of how important it is to stop and think before jumping in, and how powerful it is to really understand yourself in a world that values quick answers and sound bites. The reflective thinker is a sign of thoughtfulness and depth. I hope you have someone like this in your life. They will help you see things more clearly and give you knowledge. Developing this level of thought is also a great place to start if you want to be more like the Stoics. Type 2. People, the strong and durable. In the pages of history, especially during hard times, there is a unique group that stands out: the strong endurers. They're not just people who can deal with things. They're changers who use their problems to grow as people. Imagine getting lost on a road through the desert that seems to go on forever. Many people would give up in the heat and mirages, but those who are strong and determined find oases of chances along the way. They welcome the challenges of life and see each one as an opportunity to learn something important. Imagine a business person who is at a crossroads in their work. Most people see a crossroads as a difficult place to start, but the strong-willed person sees many possible paths they can take, including going to new places to learn new skills or using the crossroads as the start of a new project. They have a strong spirit that shows up everywhere, at work and in their personal relationships. When there are disagreements or misunderstandings, they don't get angry. Instead, they think about what went wrong and figure out how to fix it. Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in the way of action moves action forward." These are the kind of people who, even though they are having problems in their own lives, offer to help others. They're the co-workers who remake their professional identities after losing their jobs, or the member of the community who turns a personal health loss into a cause for everyone to be healthier. We are constantly reminded by the strong endurer's attitude that life isn't just about getting through hard times. It's also about mastering them. Their strength is a great example of the Stoic philosophy of resilience. They inspire growth all the time, even when the road seems steep and twisting. 3. The honest advisor. Honest advisor, in the complicated web of human connections, where many different types of people are involved, the honest advice stands out with a clear shine. People like this always make sure that their words, even if they make you feel uncomfortable, are balanced with sensitivity and real purpose. Think back to a time when you were on the verge of making a decision but weren't sure what to do. People who are honest with you are more likely to be the voice that breaks through the fog and shows you the way. They're not just places where our own thoughts are repeated or where positive messages are given out. They bravely go where others might be afraid, pushing our limits and making us think about ourselves. Think about a young writer who is excited to show her first draft to a group of friends. Many people are quick to praise her, but the honest counselor sees her raw potential and gives her helpful comments. They point out areas that are ready to be improved, not to bring down feelings, but to make the way for success. Their faith in her skills sometimes makes her doubt her own abilities. In the workplace, they are the ones who point out mistakes in a way that doesn't offend, making sure that the whole project is of the best quality. Within the family, they could be a grandparent or cousin who gently questions our life choices out of love and care, not because they want to tell us what to do. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a person perfected without trials." An honest guide is this necessary friction, the soft, rough force that smooths out our edges and helps us shine our best light. They are honest without being rude or rash. It comes from kindness and a real wish for our growth. With a strong sense of right and wrong and a long-lasting commitment to our growth, they don't push us to put others down, but to raise ourselves up, which broadens our views and guides us toward greatness. In a world where lies and quick compliments are common, the honest guide stands out as a true example of authenticity. Their knowledge is very helpful on our journey. 4th type of person, the happy minimalist. Satisfied minimalist. In a time of constant shopping where value is often linked to wealth and extravagance, the satisfied minimalist is a welcome change. Their philosophy is more than just having things. It's a deep understanding that happiness comes from living simply and on purpose, not from just getting more things. Imagine a house that is quiet and doesn't stand out in any noticeable way. It's not crowded with the newest tech gadgets or overfull closets. Instead, it lives with room, clarity, and things that have meaning. Each item reminds us of a special moment, tells a story, or is necessary for daily life. This is the safe place for the happy minimalist. Think about that coworker who picks an important birthday party over a big party. They might get together with a small group of people for a vacation to meditate or a comforting meal at home. The focus shifts from showmanship to real friendships and special times. Even though we live in a digital world, some people still value the weight of a handwritten letter over a quick tweet or a deep talk over a busy meeting. Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Their choices in life come from a deep understanding of what life is all about. This is what the satisfied minimalist is all about. Their happiness doesn't come from getting more things. It comes from being thankful, living simply, and having a purpose in life. Their way of life is a powerful example of how real happiness doesn't come from having a lot of things, but from having a lot of things that we appreciate. By imitating the satisfied minimalist, we learn that real happiness doesn't come from constantly collecting things. Instead, it grows from deep reflection, a heart full of thanks, and the deep joys that lie hidden in life's simple moments. Type 5. The helper with empathy. Helper with empathy. In the noise and chaos of today's world, there are a few people who shine with warmth and understanding, like a warm fire on a cold winter night. These are the sensitive helpers, people who don't just notice how other people are feeling, but really understand them and offer help and comfort that often goes beyond words. Consider the team member who can tell when someone is losing motivation despite all the work and talks that need to be done. Instead of spying on you, they might come up to you with a genuine offer to talk or a coffee break on the spot. Because they have an uncanny ability to read people's feelings, they are often seen as an unofficial guardian of the group's well-being, lifting spirits and strengthening team bonds. Think about the friend who drops off a freshly baked pie for a family going through a hard time, or the traveler who sees a fellow passenger's teary eyes and passes them a note of comfort, quietly boosting faith in humanity. Taking inspiration from Seneca's wise words, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." The caring person doesn't just recognize these times, they take part in them, creating a web of comfort and understanding. Their deeds show what a huge difference small acts of kindness can make. It's not about showy actions or actions that make the news. It's about genuine acts of kindness that touch people's hearts and build communities. Through their actions, they show that real power doesn't come from being distant, but from truly connecting with others and using our kindness to heal, raise, and cross gaps. The caring helper shows us how powerful pure selfless connection can be, inviting us to go beyond our own limitations and truly connect with the heartbeats of those around us. The disciplined learner is the sixth type of person. When looking at the complex web of human traits, the focused student stands out as a model of dedication and drive. Individuals who are dedicated learners stick to their plans and are always hungry for more information, while others learn in fits and starts based on their changing reasons. Think about that friend from school who, despite the draw of short-term distractions, set aside time every day to study. They weren't studying for tests out of fear. They were studying because they really respected the material. Their well-organized notes were less about getting good grades and more about showing how much they valued learning. Think about that friend who starts something new. Many people give up when their interest wanes, but a focused learner keeps going. They take a methodical approach to everything they do, whether it's learning the chords on a guitar, speaking a foreign language fluently, or getting into the details of chess. They know that real success comes from long-term effort, not short-term enthusiasm. Professionally, they stand out as people who are always improving their skills, not just because it's required of them, but because they want to keep growing. These are the people who go to workshops, read a lot of books related to their field, and are always at the top of their fields. In line with Epictetus's wise words, "Only the educated are free," the focused learner is a model of this freedom. Since they are not limited by things that make them comfortable and are always learning new things, their presence emphasizes the importance of consistent commitment over intermittent passion. It's not about taking in information in random bursts. It's about constantly feeding it, making learning an unchanging part of their daily lives. Disciplined learners argue, albeit in silence but with great force, that gaining knowledge is not a one-time thing but a lifelong journey, and that the joy comes from both the journey and the final understanding. Type number 7, the lover of the present moment. As we live in a time full of constant distractions and the never-ending search for future goals, the present moment lover stands out like a breath of fresh air. These people stand out because they can really live in the present moment, even though juggling and planning ahead are valued in our society. Picture that friend who gives you their full attention when you talk. They have forgotten about their phone, and their look stays fixed. Every minute spent with them feels like an hour, and every talk is like a soul-warming hug. It's not how much time was spent, but how well the link was made. Think about parents who, despite having a lot of things to do every day, find time to really connect with their kids. They aren't thinking about the jobs they need to do or the texts they need to answer. Instead, they're exploring make-believe worlds, enjoying laughs and fantasy, and cherishing the fleeting wonders of their kids' childhood. An individual who pauses to truly enjoy the magic of a sunset is a present-moment lover in the hug of nature. They get lost in its rainbow of colors, let its peace surround them, and enjoy its brief grandeur. They're not taking a quick picture for digital praise. Instead, they're taking in the momentary wonder with all of their being. Anchor yourself in the present, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said. Do not dwell on the panorama of what was and what might be. The present moment lover is the personification of this wisdom. Life is like a painting that includes the past, the present, and the future. But the most vivid lines are drawn in the moment. Their way of doing things shows the deep truth that planning for the future has its benefits. But thinking about the past can teach us lessons. The most beautiful dances in life are performed in the present. By committing to the present moment, a present moment lover not only gets the most joy out of life's fleeting moments, but they also invite others to let go of the worries of the past and the stresses of the future and enjoy the amazing show of the present. Taking a look at ourselves. As we come to the end of today's video about the honored lives that Stoicism highlights, it is important to take their lessons to heart. We shouldn't just admire them from afar. We should try to live by the ideals they stand for. They help us find our way by shining a light on the Stoic values we want to develop in ourselves. Think about the people and relationships you've met. Do people with such power come into your life? What's more, think about your job. Are you such an example for other people to follow? Remember that Stoicism is more than just improving yourself. It also encourages spreading happiness and knowledge to everyone else. If something we talked about today struck a chord with you, please share your thoughts, stories, or personal journeys in the comments. Could you be one of these souls that guide people? If not, think about what's stopping you. Until we meet again, I hope you continue to find and surround yourself with wise people, work to embody the Stoic values they stand for, and let your life be filled with deep thoughts and virtue.